This is the Stir-Phrying physicist again, and today's special treat is popovers. We're going to talk about perfect popovers, or at least pretty darn good ones, and the science around it. Stir-Phrying physicist going out of his comfort zone a little bit, but this is a recipe that I've kind of worked on for a while. This is the popover recipe. It's based on the I think Jordan Pond restaurant recipe. You have 2 eggs warmed up to room temperature. See, they've been sitting there right there. 1 cup of milk. I'm going to warm it up. This is the secret as far as I'm concerned. Warming it up to a little above room temperature. You can feel it with your finger, or you can use a thermometer if you're worried about that. But warm it up. This is 1 cup of flour, not sifted. I put in a 1/4 teaspoon of salt and just a pinch of baking baking soda. Baking soda right there. And I stir up the mixed ingredients to make sure it's all properly mixed up. You can sift if you want. I generally don't. I don't bake that much. But of course, a lot of people talk about how tricky the popover recipe is, and they've got all these different secrets that they claim will make it work better. In my experience so far, I guess we'll see if it works again today. I've had 3 or 4 successes in a row. The key, I think, is to realize that the rising of the popover is accomplished through steam. And if the ingredients are a little bit cool before they go in the oven, then it's going to take longer for it to heat up. And in the meantime, the batter itself is starting to set. So it's a competition between the setting up of the dough so that it becomes so stiff that it doesn't expand anymore, and the generation of steam, basically many little pockets that causes the popover to pop. So my solution to it has been, yes, use room temperature eggs and warm up the milk to slightly above room temperature. And when you mix it all together, the whole mix will be at or slightly above room temperature, maybe slightly warm to the touch, but not too warm. And then right after that is when you stick it in the oven. The other secret I find is using a good popover pan, an actual popover pan like this that you can purchase online. Muffin pans tend to take a little bit longer to warm up, and again, it's a competition between the steam generating bubbles and the setting of the dough. So if you maximize the opportunity for it to heat up quickly before it really has a chance to set up, then I think that's basically the name of the game. Although I guess you could argue that if it warms up really quickly, then it'll set quickly too. And that may be. I also cut up ahead of time 6 little divots of butter. You can see how, roughly it's not, I don't think it's critical, but what I do is I use that to put into each of the popover tins so that there's a little butter, melted butter. Now the melted part comes by putting the the popover container, popover tins, I guess, into the oven, which is set for 450 degrees initially. And I let it sit and warm up, and then I put the butter in to let it melt. I added the warmed up milk to the flour and salt and baking soda mixture, and stir that nicely. And I'm going to add the eggs, which I've already whipped a little bit, and stir it together into a nice batter. Pre-melted some butter in the bottom of the pan, and then used a brush to kind of brush it around the sides to give it a little bit of grease, basically. And then I filled the tins, distributing or trying to distribute them evenly inside. Now all we have to do is wait. It's set at about 450 degrees Fahrenheit, and put it in for 15 minutes at that temperature, and then reduce the temperature to 350 degrees and let it finish cooking for another 15 to 20 minutes. Depends on your oven. But don't peek, because that apparently is important, not to peek. Maybe it's something like the Heisenberg uncertainty principle, in which you cannot determine simultaneously the momentum and the position of a particle exactly, because the measurement itself interferes with, you can take a look and establish the position at that moment, but that automatically affects the momentum measurement and vice versa. I don't think that's really applying here, but I thought I'd throw in a little physics. So here they are. They're quite puffed up, and put some butter and some strawberry preserves on it, and they're good to go. I'm going to eat it while they're hot, because that's the best time to eat them. Take care. Hope you enjoy your popovers as well. Take care.